Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about why, since the first generation was launched back in 2015, it is now the best time to buy an Apple Watch Series 8. Admittedly, I have recently bought myself an Apple Watch Series 8, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is on this occasion. And I may as well showcase it with my wristwatch check, and of course here it is. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be comparing my 41mm Series 8 model with the first gen 42mm model that was launched back in 2015. This brings me to my first point, which is pricing. So back in 2015, when the first generation was originally launched by Apple, it was launched with a retail price of £339. Now, if you use an inflation calculator, you can compare what that £339 equates to in 2023. £339 is worth roughly £480 in today's money. But amazingly, right now you can buy the 41mm Apple Watch Series 8 from Apple for £419. So right off the bat, you've made a £60 saving compared to if you'd purchased an Apple Watch Generation 1 back in 2015. But I'm going to give you another revelation, because currently, if you look for an Apple Watch Series 8 41mm, you can quite easily get the midnight black version for £350 and the silver aluminium version for £370. In fact, I actually bought my own model, which is the silver aluminium version, for £370 from dim price. And it didn't take a lot of searching to do that. And this was back in January of this year, 2023. So in terms of value for money, I'm actually £110 better off than if I'd bought a first generation back in 2015, because you could not get any discounts on that model at the time. But this is even before I talk about what the first generation Apple Watch didn't have compared to what we see in the Series 8 and above today. And I'm about to list some of the things that it didn't have. There was no full screen watch face, no infograph or modular faces. And these are all crucial aspects that you'd expect to see in a smartwatch, especially because a smartwatch you use to monitor your sporting activities, your health, your fitness, and to monitor trends in your performance day to day when it comes to these kind of things. And added to that list, there's no blood oxygen monitoring or compass. So some really crucial things missing from your health and fitness options in that first generation Apple Watch. However, from a more technical perspective, the first generation Apple Watch only transmitted 450 nits of brightness, whereas the Apple Watch Series 8 currently emits 1000 nits at a maximum. In fact, the Apple Watch Ultra, I think, can go up to 2000. The capacity of the first generation Apple Watch was only 8 GB compared to 32 GB that you now see in the Series 8. The original Apple Watch only had 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi capability, whereas the current iteration has 5. There's also no fast charging, which is absolutely essential for those quick charges where you're slightly low on power, etc. And the walkie-talkie is a functionality that wasn't available at launch for the Apple Watch first generation. The next thing I want to talk about is the customization options that you now have on the Apple Watch Series 8 and the iterations that are around today. There is an endless amount of customization you can do with your current iWatch models. For example, for around £30 from Amazon, I purchased a multitude of different coloured smartwatch cases to protect the body of my Apple Watch, and also bands. This was not an option that was available at launch of the first generation model back in 2015. And even today, Apple charge £49 for an Apple Watch band, which is just, I don't know, I mean, so you can imagine back in 2015, if you wanted to accessorize your Apple Watch, you were stuffed. Like, you just had to pay out those bucks. But now, pretty cheaply, you can endlessly customize your Apple Watch to fit your taste or lifestyle on any given day. And linked to this, you have a range of watch faces to choose from to give you as much or as little information as you want, depending on what you want to do, or depending on your taste for how you like to see your watch face displayed. The only display that you can't get is the watch face that you see on the Apple Watch Ultra. Annoyingly, however, unless you purchase the Apple Watch Ultra, you are unable to get the Wayfinder watch face that you see displayed and all the advertising for that particular model. However, the Apple Watch Ultra does retail currently at around $819 or around $849 depending where you go, and only comes with a cellular option, which means you'll need to buy an airtime contract with it at around £5 a month. So I don't think that's the best value for money option currently, unless you're really doing the sort of exploring or outdoor activities that really warrant you getting one of those watches. Since the first generation was launched back in 2015, it is now the best time to buy an Apple Watch Series 8. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Since I bought my Apple Watch back in January, I've barely taken it off my wrist. But that begs the question, do you think smartwatches like the Apple Watch will replace fine Swiss watches? No, because I'll always appreciate the refined and delicately balanced companionship of a mechanical marvel for my collection. That's it for me. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.